Res Publica is presumably a game about civilizations and cultural progress and the like. It's a sort of a traditional card game that's revolving around set collection and trading. It's kind of a restrictive trading, though, so it's unique, and we're going to show you how to play it. This is the Modern Queen Games edition, so it's got a few more pieces than the original 1991 game had. So here is Res Publica. So when you're setting up your game of Res Publica, you're going to have a bunch of different types of cards you need to have separated out. You're going to have this blue deck of cards, this orange deck of cards. You're going to have 2 libraries, 2 churches. You're going to have a stack of settlements. And you're going to have a stack of towns, which are referred to as cities in the rulebook, but it says town on the cards in this edition, so we're going to call them towns. In the case of the orange deck, you shuffle all of the orange cards. Blue deck, you shuffle all the blue cards. These 3 types of cards don't need to be shuffled because they're just a stack of cards that's going to be out there on the table the whole time. The towns or cities need to be arranged in descending order, so you put the highest value card on the top and work your way down to the lowest value card. You're going to deal 4 of these orange cards to each player. These are people cards. And you're going to do nothing with the blue cards. You're just going to sit there and wait for the first part of the game. Once everybody has been dealt their cards, the oldest player will begin. So let's briefly talk about what you're trying to do in this game. You see that these 3 types of cards are worth points. That's this number here on the top of the card. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get sets of cards played out in front of you on the table to give you the ability to collect the various green cards that are out there. So if you play a set of 5 identical people from this deck, that's going to allow you to get a settlement, which is worth 3 points, and is going to give you the ability to draw from this deck. If you play 5 identical cards from this deck, that's going to let you take a town or city. Generally speaking, what's going on there is that you could just keep doing this for the whole game, but you want to race to get to this one to get these first because these are worth more points always than these, because these are only worth 3 points. These are worth from 9 down to 4 points. So you're incentivized to get matching cards from this deck as fast as you can so that you can get a settlement, so you can start taking cards from this deck, and so you can get to these as fast as you can. And the churches and libraries are cards that are special cases that only come out when you play a pair of a specific type of card. I'll get to those later. But generally speaking, what you're trying to do is, play sets of orange cards to get settlements so you can start getting sets of blue cards so you can get to towns. So how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to be doing a little bit of trading in this game. Basically, the only actions you're ever going to take in the game are either trying to make a trade or displaying cards from your hand to try to acquire something. So, how does a trade work? Well, you've got your hand of cards and you're going to request 1 or more cards or offer 1 or more cards. It's pretty straightforward. You would request up to 2 types of cards using and or. So you could say, I want a goth. Or you could say, I want a goth and a monk. You could say, I want a goth or a monk. And then everybody around the table, starting with the person to your left, has 1 opportunity to make you an offer for whatever you have put on the table. So if they have the thing that you are asking about, then they get to say, oh, you want a goth? Well, I will give you a Hun for that goth. And then it would go to the next person, and they would say, I'll give you a monk or a people card. And everybody gets just 1 chance to make an offer like that. Once the person whose turn it is has heard everybody's offers, then they get to choose one of those offers or none. If they don't choose any of them, then nothing happens, and that's the end of their turn. You can't offer something you don't have. You have to fulfill a trade if you put it on the table. There's no obligation for it to be the same number of cards in a trade, but it does have to be at least 1 card from each person involved in the trade. If you don't want to request cards, you can offer cards. It works the same way. You can say, I offer a monk and a goth, or I offer a Viking and a monk, or I offer just 2 goths, or I offer 1 monk or 1 goth. And then people have, same way, from clockwise order, 1 chance to make you an offer of what they would give you for the thing that you're offering. You can never offer these scorecards in a trade. Once you've acquired those things, they just stay in front of you for the whole game. Regardless of what action you take, at the end of your turn, you're going to draw 1 people card into your hand. If on your turn you have 5 identical people or civilization cards in your hand, you can use your action to display those in front of you. Like 5 Huns. You've got those 5 Huns. And those are 5 people cards, so that's going to give you a settlement. Settlements are worth 3 points, and it's going to give you the ability to draw from this deck. So when you're drawing your 1 card from the people deck at the end of your turn, you also would get to draw 1 civilization card. The limitation on this is that you can never draw more than 3 cards at the end of your turn. If you play 5 identical civilization cards out of your hand, then that's going to give you the ability to take the top town card and put it in front of you. As you can see, now the next one that's available is worth less. So this is a race. You want to get those towns or cities as soon as you possibly can because they're worth a lot of points. They're worth a lot more points than the settlements. But what about these libraries and churches, you ask? Well, if you play 2 identical monks, that's going to let you get a church. Churches are just worth 7 points. Just 2 monks get you a church. But once those 2 churches are gone, monks are not going to give you anything else when you play a pair of them like that. If you display 2 books, you're going to get to build a library, and a library is going to allow you to display 4 instead of 5 civilization cards. It's not people cards, it's going to be civilization cards from the blue deck. So it makes it cheaper for you to put down sets to take a town card. So it's not worth any points, and you got to make that sort of calculation if it's worth it to go after building libraries to make it easier to get to the towns. It probably is, but it kind of depends on what other people are doing. And maybe by the time you get books, the towns are no longer as profitable. So anyway, that's what libraries and churches do. The final game round is going to be triggered when the last card is drawn from this civilization deck. Everybody is going to get 1 final turn, including the person who drew the last card from that deck. And then, before you do scoring, all players will have 1 more opportunity in clockwise order to display groups of 5 identical people or civilization cards from their hands, or monks, or books. Each player will then total the values of their scorecards that they've accumulated over the game. Libraries aren't worth anything. And every pair of identical cards remaining in your hand will score 1 point. So you'll make that sort of decision there at the very end if you want to play whole sets of cards to try to snatch up whatever properties are still remaining out there, or if you want to hold sets of cards in your hand for those sort of consolation points, because every pair is worth 1 point. And the player with the most points wins. If several players have the most points, all of them win. And this is a more modern edition of Res Publica. If you want to play the old edition, you will want to remove the monks, the books, the churches, and the libraries. You're going to have a simpler game because then you're not worried about how those are just playing a pair to get a specific card. You're just playing sets of 5. So that's the classic mode. That's another thing you can do. You have absolutely the ability to play that classic version with this set of cards. You just use fewer cards.
It's time to do public things. Hey, you guys.
Hey.
Can I interest you in 1 Hun?
Okay, so, Stacia, what would you offer him for 1 Hun?
They're horse lords. They displaced all of the German tribes. They caused the downfall of the Roman Empire.
You want a Viking?
A Viking?
Okay, her offer is 1 Viking.
1 Viking?
Aaron, what would you like to offer for 1 Hun?
1 Hun. Nothing.
I also don't want to offer anything.
Wow.
So
Well, I will take that Viking for a Hun.
now you draw 1 orange card at the end of your turn.
Nice.
Okay, Stacia.
Does anybody want a Anglo-Saxon?
Okay, what would you trade for 1 Anglo-Saxon?
Goth.
1 Goth.
1 Goth.
Alright.
I guess I would also trade... Oh, no. I'll trade you a Lombard for an Anglo-Saxon.
Whoa. I'll offer you a Goth.
I considered it.
I'll take your goth.
She'll take my
man.
Goth.
I'll help you
Oh.
out.
Alright,
Oh.
Helping out.
here's your card.
Ah!
Aaron? You can offer multiple cards.
Okay. And I have
With
to say
you use the words and or.
Okay.
So X number of a thing and or X number of a thing.
Okay.
Or you can say, I want this thing.
Yeah, you could also request a thing. And we would all take turns offering you a thing for that thing.
Yeah.
Or saying
Offering you.
what we want for that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna say I offer a goth.
Oh, man.
Do you go in any sort of order? Or does it
Everybody's trying to get rid of that.
I'll give you a Lombard for a Goth.
I'll give you a Viking.
It's not your turn. He goes first.
I don't have any Goths to offer you, my man. Sorry.
Well,
He's offering.
offering a
Offering.
Goth.
I don't want your Goth.
Okay.
I just gave mine away.
Yeah.
Okay. And she wants to give you a Viking.
I said Viking.
So you want a Viking or a Lombard for your Goth? You don't have to take either.
I know. I'll take your Lombard.
Okay. I'm gonna draw an orange card.
All right.
I'll trade one Viking or one Anglo-Saxon.
I'll offer you one Anglo-Saxon for that Viking.
No, like you don't get to choose which one.
Okay, then I'll offer you one Anglo-Saxon.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anglo-Saxon or Viking?
Anglo-Saxon or Viking. I could use one, not the other. But no, when I keep what I have.
Anglo-Saxon for Anglo-Saxon. Boom. Straight across. Nice.
Okay.
Okay. I'm looking for two Vikings. Two Vikings.
I have one.
Well, you don't.
Well, that's not two.
So there you go. Pass.
I cannot help you.
Pass.
Wow.
That's the end of your turn. You just draw a card.
That's fine. Let's see how it is.
I will offer a Viking.
Oh.
No, I'm okay.
One Lombard.
How about another Hun to go with that first Hun?
Sure.
Wait.
Yeah. Let me make sure that's
I am looking for a Lombard or Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon or Goth.
Viking.
Goth. Wait, what are you offering?
He's offering...
No, I'm not offering. I'm
He's looking for
a Lombard or Anglo-Saxon.
Oh, then I don't know. Nothing for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I misheard.
And then, what was yours again? You're
Okay.
offering...
Anglo-Saxon or Goth.
And do I get to pick or no?
No. And you don't have to take it. You can just say pass and just
So
draw a
what do
card.
I just like give you a card and you give me one of the cards?
Basically, I already forgot what the thing was that you said you were offering. So
Lombard or Anglo-Saxon?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that's basically what would happen is we just have to do that. Okay. And you get a card.
Okay.
One Goth or two Lombards.
That's your offer?
That's my offer.
Pass.
Pass.
I guess I'll offer a Lombard.
Okay.
I've got two Lombards.
Okay.
Pass.
I'm good.
One Viking or two Anglo-Saxons.
Okay. And then do I do my thing?
No, that's an action.
Okay.
I'm looking for a Hun or a Goth.
I'm good.
Pass.
Yeah, I traded you twice.
Got that Hun. Let's see. I want a Lombard for that Hun.
I don't have one. Let's draw. Just take a card.
Right, that's what I'm supposed to do, is tell her what I want, and...
I actually wasn't paying attention to what she was requesting a card.
Yeah, she said she wanted a card, and then I tell her
You
what
tell
I
her
want
you
for
would
that
want
card.
for that card.
Okay.
Okay. So instead of offering something, I can place three
Five identical of a thing.
Five?
Five.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay. Well then, in that case...
You can play 2 identical monks
Okay.
for a church.
I didn't even see no monks.
Yeah.
It's because there aren't that many. Monks are rare.
That's true.
I will offer up 2 Anglo-Saxons.
2 Anglo-Saxons.
1 Hun.
Nothing. Pass.
Oh.
Looks like it's us and then those guys.
There you go. I'm going to display 5 Lombards,
Damn.
which is going to give me 1 settlement. And so I'm going to draw those at the end of my turn.
I'm going to put down 5 Vikings. So I'm going to draw those at the end of my turn. My settlement.
I'm looking for a Hun.
It's a settlement of Vikings.
I cannot hope I pass.
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 Fabulous. Better be a Hun.
There's at least a decent chance it could be a Hun.
I don't remember what we use these blue cards for.
Blue cards are for getting towns or cities. They're called cities in the rulebook, but they're towns on the cards that are worth more points than settlements.
Okay.
So you need 5 identical to get those, or
Okay.
you get
5 identical blue
books
cards.
to build a library to make your sets cheaper.
Okay.
I will offer 1 Anglo-Saxon or 1 Goth.
1 Viking.
Pass.
Pass.
No, thank you.
Okay. 1 Viking. Offering.
Pass.
Pass.
I'll offer you a Hun.
Pass.
Shipbuilding.
You can offer him something. He's offering his
Do you
shipbuilding.
want, no, because I can't even draw them, so.
No, he's offering it. So I
Yeah.
mean, like, you know.
You can have a,
You just unload all those Huns that you can't get rid
no,
of?
pass.
I don't know what the purpose is, but I'll offer you a Hun.
Okay.
Viking or Goth.
I'm gonna pass. Those are all bad offers, you guys. Bad offers.
Whatever. You revealed you have a shipbuilding, fool.
Yeah. I'm looking for a Goth or a Hun.
I'll offer a Hun.
A Viking.
I'll take your Hun.
What are you?
For,
You offering?
She's getting a Goth.
yeah. No, I said Hun or Goth.
Right.
You said Hun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have this. I don't have to say what it is, right? I just give it to him.
Right. If you're saying or, then you give him one of the 2 things you said.
Wait, no, I wanted one of the...
Yeah,
I'm confused
she
now.
wants a Hun or a Goth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're getting one of the two
Yeah,
things
yeah,
you
yeah,
asked
yeah,
for.
Okay.
Draw your card.
I am looking for
Let's go laugh at
an
this
Anglo-Saxon.
Pass.
The Vikings were Anglo-Saxon, so we have a lovely village full of them over here if you'd be interested in Vikings.
Like trade for the entire village?
No, I'd give you one Viking. We could spare one of our Vikings. One of our mighty warriors.
And I'll think about it.
Okay.
What were you were looking for Anglo-Saxon? I don't have any, so pass.
For the time, I'm going to have to pass on your...
Oh, that's
offer.
okay. That's okay. I mean, we're the Saxon part of the Anglo-Saxons, so you know, if you need our backup, just let us know.
Will do.
I can offer Goth or Viking.
Pass.
Do you want a Lombard?
Pass.
Pass.
Well, I guess that's all the way back to me again.
Why don't you just offer us shipbuilding again?
One Viking. We need some Viking
pass.
love. Vikings.
Lombard.
Goth or Hun.
Okay. Trade with you. Why not?
Alright, I'm putting down 5 Huns. For that. And you take one of each, right?
Yep.
When you have that? Okay, cool.
No. Guess I'll offer up a Lombard.
Pass.
Pass.
Do you want a shipbuilding?
Sure.
What a deal!
Whoa!
I offer Huns.
An Anglo-Saxon and a Goth.
Pass.
Pass.
Have your Anglo-Saxon back. Or your Goth back. Whatever it was. That's you. I'm looking for 2 Huns.
I just put them all down. So
Why'd you just put them all down?
got any Huns.
Why'd you just put them all down? How about just 1 Hun, Stacia? Can you give me 1
I
Hun?
don't got none. Sorry.
1 Hun?
Don't got no
You
Huns.
can't take from these,
Buns.
right? Yeah.
Hun?
What's happening? Are you?
Do you have 1 Hun? 1 Hun. No, because...
I just gave you my Hun.
Yeah, you just gave me your Hun, unless
Yeah.
you drew a new one. These guys all shot me down, so you know what? I am just drawing cards.
Yep.
Oh.
I will offer a Lombard.
I hear Aaron likes those Lombards.
Are you a Lombard lover?
He's always trying to get rid of them.
And
What do you know historically about the
Nothing.
Lombards?
They were married into Charlemagne's family. His wife was the princess of the Lombards. His brother's wife was the princess of the Lombards.
Is it your turn?
Yeah, I'm offering a Lombard.
Okay, I don't want it.
Pass.
Cool. Okay.
When his brother Carloman died under mysterious circumstances, but don't worry, Charlemagne's official court biographer assures us he had nothing to do with his brother's death. It's okay. His wife then fled to live with her family in Lombardy, and then Charlemagne conquered Lombardy. And then we don't hear a lot about his brother's wife and kids anymore after that. So don't worry. I'm sure Charlemagne is a good dude. He did nothing to his wife, his brother's wife and kids. And did not murder his brother, definitely.
I am looking for an Anglo-Saxon
An Anglo-Saxon.
or a Viking.
Fresh out of Anglo-Saxons and Vikings.
I have a Viking.
Oh.
Okay,
So you tell him what you want.
Do you have a Goth?
Okay.
Oh,
I'll offer you a Lombard.
Now that you know the Lombards are doomed, historically speaking.
yeah.
I mean, they mess up the Pope's stuff for a while.
Right.
Let's see. You know what? I've got one Goth for you. One Goth.
I'll give you 2 Lombards.
2 Lombards?
Yeah. We just had this whole discussion.
I don't know what this really does for me. I'm going to offer shipbuilding.
Ooh, shipbuilding?
Pass.
Difficult decisions. I'm gonna take you up on that shipbuilding. I don't know if that's a good decision for me, but we'll see how that goes for me in the long run.
I have
Whoa. Okay.
2 Lombards to offer.
2 Lombards.
I will offer 1 Lombard.
I'll offer architecture.
Whoa, that's a good deal. You should take it. Pass.
No.
No! You don't want to learn how to
you get the
build?
library and...
So the library is if you play 2 books, which are from the blue deck.
Got it.
So you need to get a settlement so you can get cards out of the blue deck.
I agree on that. All right. I am looking for Goth or Anglo-Saxon.
Pass.
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 Shucks.
I display 5 Anglo-Saxons.
Nice.
Makes me take 2 blue and 1 orange.
Did you say that I only need to display these 2 books to build a library?
That's correct.
That is a small library.
Or Mighty Big Books.
That's true. And then I guess I'm just drawing cards because that was my turn.
Have you seen books from the Middle Ages?
True. I'm looking for Goth
I cannot help.
or Lombard.
Can you? Does that change your?
Or Lombard?
Sure.
I can offer a Lombard.
What'd you say?
Offer 1 Lombard.
Well, okay, yeah,
That's what I'm looking for, yeah.
yes,
So you tell her what you want
Yeah.
for a Lombard.
Oh.
yeah.
Goth or Anglo-Saxon?
Pass. Because I said Goth or Lombard. I'm not going to give you my Goths.
That's fair.
Okay, well, pass.
Pass.
So you can give him one of the 2 things you offered,
Yeah.
and
Because it was an or, and then he'll give
But it was
you...
my turn,
Yeah.
so I'm saying no, I don't want his offer. Yeah.
Yep. That's fine.
My turn?
yeah.
Well, I can finally join the party, I believe.
Oh.
With my 5
Oh!
Anglo-Saxons.
Welcome to the Anglo-Saxon party.
And it's this guy, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna have you display your cards. Yeah. Like
Everyone has a village. Good
seven.
job, everybody.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna offer.
Whoa, do you have a church too?
He does.
Man.
He's actually currently winning.
Yeah.
Man. Anglo-Saxons or metallurgy?
Pass.
Wait, that's what you want?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm offering.
Oh, it's
That's what I'm offering.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, I misunderstood.
Sorry, do you want a chance?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Would you like some architecture?
Pass.
Oh, architecture.
Wait.
Changing
'cause there's
hands.
an or, that's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Okay. I know you've explained
That's
this
fine.
too, but once again, go over the towns, how you get those.
5. Wait, which
Yeah,
one?
5 identical from the blue deck gets you a town.
5, okay.
I'm looking for either 1 Hun or 1 monk.
Pass.
Well, nobody's going to give you a monk.
You never know.
Can't help you.
Pass.
Okay. Oh, dang.
It's a monk.
I'm not going to tell you.
Hun, 5 Goths.
It's a secret. 5 Goths! You guys have such nice villages.
Yeah.
These Vikings took both books that they stole and built a library in their village.
Alright, I will offer 2 Lombards.
2?
1 metallurgy.
1 architecture.
What'd you say, 2 Lombards?
2
did.
Lombards.
I will give you a Anglo-Saxon and a Viking.
Oh.
Anglo-Saxon and a Viking.
Yeah.
And then yours was metallurgy?
1 metallurgy.
No, mine was 1 architecture.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
It's understandable.
I am requesting...
Oh.
Yeah. 1 alchemy or 1 Viking.
Pass.
Pass.
So that everybody knows, there are 12 of each of these things in the deck.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, like, once 2 sets have gone out, then you won't...
Yeah.
Unless, his thing modifies it, sort of, but, like... There are only 2 libraries, so I can't imagine it modifying it that much.
Mm-hmm.
I guess...
I was requesting a Viking or alchemy.
Okay. I will ask back a Goth.
Pass.
Oh, so this means that I play 4 blue cards instead of 5, right? That's what you said? 4 identical blue cards?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. I'm gonna use that right now because these Vikings, true to their nature, are also good at trade.
Okay.
Because Vikings were originally traders, and then they became raiders, you guys. And that means I get one of these? Is that right?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Nice. Look at this town.
And with that, you take the lead.
Yeah. Now you draw...
So I don't have this
Yeah,
card.
you don't have that. Yeah, so you draw your 1 blue, 1 orange.
Okay, so this town doesn't give me
count,
an extra
no.
card?
Just
No.
Okay,
points.
just
Okay.
points. Got it. Got it. I'm good.
I'm looking for Lombards.
How many Lombards?
I would like 2. Would be nice.
That sounds unfortunate.
Looking for a Goth.
I still don't have Goth.
Pass.
I'll take 1 or 2 Lombards.
I don't know that you're allowed to do that.
Oh, okay. 2 Lombards then.
1 shipbuilding?
Wait, that's what you want?
Yeah.
I don't have, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you have to have 2 separate
Okay.
quantifiers on 2 separate subjects.
Okay.
Because that's the Reiner Knizia way.
That seems true.
Right. Well, I think everyone
He's not a
knows-
very flexible man.
I think everyone knows what I want.
I don't. What do you want?
1 Goth.
No, no Goths for you. Sorry,
Pass.
kid.
I'll
Pass.
give you... I would like your 2 Lombards. You still have 2, right?
Sure.
What's going on? I have so many cards.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just a lot of random civilizations
Yeah.
in my hand. Alright, draw your cards.
Okay.
I'm going to display 5 alchemy.
Oh,
Ooh.
The Lombards and the Anglo-Saxons are good at alchemy.
surprising. These Vikings kidnapped a pair of monks.
Nice.
Okay, well, monks are now worthless. There's only one more in the deck, so whoever has that monk, sorry, it's garbage.
Good.
I will do 1, 2, 3, 5 Lombards.
My hands
Oh, you got your
I
Lombards.
did.
somehow got turned upside down.
You're so lucky.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then I will reveal
Yeah.
5 Goths. Do I need to move it up?
Yeah, if you can. I know that things are going to get tight spacing-wise, but this is kind of like the lowest part of the screen here.
As long as you know what they are.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
And it's just 3 cards, right? Either 3 blue or 2 and 1.
You can't take multiple orange cards. Like, you have the ability with each settlement to get 1 blue card.
Yeah, if I had a 3rd village.
Yeah.
Or settlement.
So you can take 2 blue and 1 orange right now.
I mean, you're gonna get the last orange card.
I mean,
You shuffle through them, don't you?
there's none.
Oh, and that's
Just
it. Never
discard,
mind. Never
like,
mind.
yeah.
I see. Never mind.
It does seem like that's gonna happen. I hope it's that monk. Okay. I would like 1 Viking or one shipbuilding.
Yes.
Do you have any metallurgy? Or you? That's what
So,
you
I-
want.
You're offering him a metallurgy,
Yeah, for-
and he will give you one of those 2 things in
let's-
return.
You said you wanted a Viking.
Yeah,
or shipbuilding.
I'm requesting a Viking
Yeah.
or shipbuilding.
And so I am asking for
Metallurgy.
Metallurgy in
in
exchange
exchange for
for one of those 2 things.
I will ask for, I guess, alchemy or shipbuilding.
For my shipbuilding?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Okay.
I am looking for alchemy.
Alchemy or shipbuilding. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to give you a metallurgy for one of those 2 things. Okay. Orange cards! Good.
All right, you guys, you ready for a real deal?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Real deal.
Yeah. This is gonna be the monk.
2 Lombards and 1 monk.
Pass.
Hmm.
Pass.
You know you want in on this.
2 Lombards and 1.
2 Lombards and 1 monk.
No, I gotta pass.
One Goth.
Are all the not all the Lombards are right? I'm the only one with Lombards.
No, you and Sean
Oh,
both have
okay,
Lombards. Yeah, that's equally bad.
Yeah, because
so
both Goths are out.
both Goths are out. That's going nowhere.
Guess you're drawing your blue card.
some-
So do I get?
You have
You
1
get-
settlement?
You get one.
Yeah.
You get 1 settlement. You
Yeah.
get 1 blue card.
That's it.
That does suck.
I tapa the books.
Okay.
That's it for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to keep it.
Welcome to the -1 club.
You draw 3 blue cards.
I am looking for alchemy or Viking.
Okay. In return, I would request an architecture or shipbuilding.
Okay.
Pass.
What were you looking for?
Alchemy and Vikings.
Or Viking.
I will take art. Okay, I can say one or the other, right? For
Yep, you can tell
I
them
can
one
take-
or
I
one
will
of this or
take,
one of this. Just put it right on the box. I'm very confused right now.
wait, okay. Alchemy or Viking?
Yes.
I would like architecture or shipbuilding.
Okay. Is yours the same offer?
I think so.
I also requested architecture or shipbuilding.
Okay. I'll accept one of them. What?
I have more points than she does right now.
But she also has the book. and-
She has the ability to play cards from the blue set faster.
Yeah. But I'll give you
You know what? Let's go with...
Oh.
On display, Vikings.
Whoa!
You're telling me what I have is worthless now?
Probably.
I'm not telling you anything you don't want to hear, but
So the only one that's left is what, the Huns?
Yeah, man, I'm looking for one Hun. One
Is that
Hun.
what you want right now?
One Hun.
Do you have shipbuilding or architecture?
One Hun.
Alchemy or trade?
One Hun. You guys have got 2 Lombards and 1 monk ready to go for this.
yeah.
You know that. It's ready.
Yeah.
Metallurgy or architecture.
Good.
Or metallurgy. I don't know where to put my points. I'll just stack.
Okay. I am looking for alchemy or Hun.
I would request metallurgy or architecture.
Shipbuilding.
Okay. I'm looking for shipbuilding. Can I say that I'll give you both, or is that not? I
Nope.
can't remember the
No.
things. Okay, so it's just or.
Yep.
'Cause
He said or.
Oh, he said or. He didn't say and.
I mean,
Alright.
you
You can
could
give me
offer
more than
him
one.
and, yeah, you could say, I'll give you this and this.
I'll give you that and wait.
But then
Sure.
you're only going to get one of the cards that he's offering.
Yeah.
No, I said I'm looking for.
Yeah. So I can only say that I want shipbuilding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only
Not
tell him
that
what
I-
you want.
Sorry.
Yep.
I mean, you could say, I want this
I
and
can
this,
just
but like,
you can just
then-
disqualify me.
yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
So you're looking for shipbuilding?
Yeah, we're both looking.
We're all looking for shipbuilding.
Did I say shipbuilding?
I don't
No,
know.
you
You
said-
said architecture and...
I think I said architecture and metallurgy.
No,
Yeah.
sure.
Architecture or metallurgy.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Okay. Trade or alchemy. I'm offering trade or alchemy.
Pass.
Oh, you're offering.
Yeah, he's offering it.
I'll give you... Oh, you said ore?
Yep.
I'll give you metallurgy.
You tell him what you want for metallurgy.
No.
No, because he's offering
I'm
those.
offering.
Oh, offering, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I will offer return. Yes. A trade and a hun.
You gonna spice it up?
Get him next time. Speed through this deck.
These nice Huns move in.
Nice. I got lots of architecture, guys.
Looking for one alchemy.
Pass.
Metallurgy or architecture?
Shipbuilding or trade.
Draw your tip.
Oh!
Okay, so I'm gonna get those last two cards, and then
Great.
we will all get one
One
more
more
turn,
round to
and
do
then
nothing.
after the one turn, we all get one chance to put down things from our hand.
Yeah, good.
So I have 3 turns remaining. Request 1 architecture or 1 shipbuilding.
Metallurgy or alchemy?
This is what I want.
Yep.
Metallurgy, trade, or shipbuilding. Wait, what were you asking for?
Architecture or shipbuilding.
Oh, trade. That's what I want for that.
Pass.
And you said
Architecture or shipbuilding.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, okay, I'm so like, there's so many things going on.
Shockingly, the Vikings have mastered shipbuilding. Now I won't do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so you played a
Oh,
set.
that's it. Yes, I did. Wait, no, it's a set. Wait, what? I'm confused.
What happened?
Because I was...
They're-
Did the numbers go up or down?
They should be going down, but like
Because I drew this
I think
from
that
this, and now there's 7.
Yeah, the one that I just took was a 6.
At this point, I think.
Oh,
we both
so
would
the
have gotten it
7s were...
anyways.
So I would have had 2 7s.
I'm trying to figure out who would.
I've had this
It's
for a
one of
while.
the two of you would have had this 7.
I had this before he drew it, so I'm supposed to have 7.
Sorry, the 2 cards got mixed up.
I was just confused. I was like, wait, why am I
Oh, I
drawing
don't
a
care.
7?
Yeah. Aaron, it's your turn.
Yeah, at one point
It's your
means-
last
makes a
chance
difference.
to
Knizia Magic is...
trade or offer. Request or offer.
I am
And then you'll get
requesting
one more chance to put down 1 set of cards.
Oh, there's
one
nothing
set of
wrong.
cards.
Yep.
Yeah. So you either set down a set of cards
That was
down,
my
put
last
down
turn,
another
right?
set, and you have
Or-
one more turn to put down just 1 set of cards.
Okay. Well,
Well,
that's
that does
fine.
me no good, so I'm just gonna play my 5 alchemy for the 6 points.
Let me read you what the rulebook says, and you can determine whether I'm right or not about that.
Sure.
All players have one more opportunity in clockwise order to display groups of 5 identical people or civilization cards from their hands. Like 1,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. Each pair of identical cards remaining in your hand is worth 1 point.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Game changer for these Lombards.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
So you did a thing.
Yeah, I revealed 5 alchemy.
Requesting 1 architecture. No, disregard that. I'm just going to play things. I don't care. Let's move on. Okay, so I played that and took the 5. And then everybody has one more chance to put things down.
And no one else
And
can put anything down.
So
Yeah.
I put down another 5 shipbuilding for the other 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and now pairs are worth 1 point each.
Woo!
2, 3.
How much did you win by?
Yeah, I think.
'Cause I definitely did not.
I did not.
Between
Let me
Sean.
take a magical picture of this glorious game.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag Kanita Magic.
PG stats.
I think. I don't know.
I think I was
Oh.
behind by a lot.
I got 30.
Res
I got 33.
Publica.
Well, that means I'm not as far behind as I thought I was if you have 33.
Yeah, 33.
I have 30.
Oh, wow.
Aaron had.
What? You?
How many points did you have?
I think 23.
Rob had
28.
28.
Thought I was way behind. But if you only had 30 and she only had 33,
Yeah.
that was way tighter than I thought.
The books helped me. And I already had like a bunch of
Still miserable.
things to go.
Res Publica.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know. So, this is an older card game.
Sure. 1991.
I did not look at what other games came out in 1991, but I'm going to assume it is slim pickings.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that this is a game that is of its time.
Okay.
And it plays like a more traditional style card game.
Mm-hmm.
When I was describing to people, it's kind of like Go Fish, like it's a trading set collection thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure exactly what games in the early 90s were like that, where you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to offer you this or request this, and that's just the mechanism, it's just trading.
Yeah.
There have been lots of games since then that are built on trading, notably 4 years later when Catan came out, and that's sort of everyone's go-to trading game. But this is before it. I don't know if it's fair to compare it to that first.
Sure.
What do you think about the trading mechanism compared to Catan, which is in a similar era?
I think that what's happening there, where you're saying where you can only that it's very specific about how
Very
you can trade.
Structured form of trading.
I think there's something kind of interesting in that you can either tell people I have this to give you, and then they can offer you something, or telling people I want this, and then they ask you for something, but if you don't have it, you can't tell them, well, I don't have that. What about, this other thing? Which is, the way that negotiating in Catan kind of functions, that you have back and forth, right? You can talk about your trades.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to not have that freedom, to have it be very structured like that, so that you have to make a decision about, do I tell people what I have and don't want so that they can offer me something, or do I tell people what I want and then they know that I need that thing and will compete with me for it, or will ask me for a thing, but I may not have any of that to offer them.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It was obviously confusing to people because as we were trying to do it, like all of us had trouble determining if somebody meant I'm offering this or want it. I think that it's kind of unique in that. I can't think of any other games that have that hard kind of structure in place for how the trading mechanism functions.
Yeah. What I would say it probably moves faster. Because your options are narrowed down, and I think a lot of trading games are slow because you sit there and you're haggling with people.
Sure.
And it's not a whole lot of necessarily gameplay that's happening. It's just sitting there, just kind of like parsing out how far you can push another person. So I guess I like that it feels streamlined in that sense. I don't know that I think it's better because it's I would say what it boiled down to for me at least half of the time was just everybody just not having the thing I wanted or not being willing to trade it, and so I just drew cards.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ever really interesting when you spend an entire game just drawing cards mostly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I did most of the game. I was mostly successful through random chance of drawing cards.
Yeah. I'd agree.
So while it is a trading set collection game, mostly it's a draw cards game.
Yeah.
And get cards down so as fast as you can so you can draw more cards fast as you can. So that you get points, bigger points before someone else can get points.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think there's a whole lot there. I think there are just a lot of more interesting trading games now, negotiation games. For me, Chinatown, I played one time and I thought it was amazing. And I want to play it again, but just like have not had the opportunity to do so for whatever reason. You and I played a game called Merchants of the Middle Ages once.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that has a sort of open-ended negotiation where it's... Chinatown does the same thing. It's like there's sort of a structure in place for like what you're doing mechanically, and then you get to this like, and now there's a negotiation phase. Do what you want. And it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just negotiate.
Yeah.
And then move on. I think that's really interesting, the sort of open-endedness of it, because a lot of games have a very strict structure. I would say that it's sort of the opposite of what this does.
Sure.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't particularly enjoy the negotiation in Catan, because I more often than not just don't want to trade with people, because I just, like, I'm not going to help you get a thing done to sort of help me get a thing done when I could just wait and roll the dice and maybe get those things anyway through random chance.
Yeah.
Whereas if I give you this thing now, I know I'm helping you now. I don't, So I don't think this game has particularly aged well. It probably was fine in 1991. It didn't have quite as many things in the original edition. I want to say the church and the library cards were added in this edition, or like, there weren't as many things happening. But whatever.
Okay, how did you feel about artwork in it?
In this edition, I actually like the artwork. I think the presentation is pretty clear and functional. I wish that, and I know it's kind of like all the cards have the same number of things in, like there's 12 of all the things except for the ones that are
just like 5 or whatever.
I think that's true. Yeah. The ones that have fewer things. It'd be nice if there was like something that kind of reminded you of that, so you didn't kind of like, I don't know. There's something about like it could be easy to lose track of if people aren't displaying their cards really clearly, how many of a thing have been played, and if you're holding on to a set of a thing and then it's just not really worth anything to you anymore. It's it's multilingual and it has 4 different languages on the cards, which is kind of odd because, like, I think 2 of the languages, they're the same, like, all the time, what the 2 of the words are. And it's like...
Well, that's because English is a combination of German and French.
Okay. So, I don't know that it's even really necessary. Like, the labels on the things isn't even really necessary. They could just be pictures if they're the same picture.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, thematically what you're doing is nonsense. You're collecting Goths and...
settling them in a village and then moving in some Huns next to them.
Then
building a library.
Out of books.
Yeah. Out of 2 books.
And you do that until you run out of civilization.
Yeah.
So it could be anything, which moves us to the point of this is the newest edition of Res Publica, but then they re-implemented it.
Oh! The excitement that is Res Publica 2230.
Space.
Yeah. Did you like Res Publica? Did you really wish that you could play Space Res Publica?
So, I'm not qualified really to talk about this because I haven't played this.
Sure.
I can only sort of talk about my reactions to it and its existence. The only 2 differences you see on the box immediately are that this one says 30 to 45 minutes, this one says 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like Res Publica was the right game length for what was there mechanically?
It was, not bad. Like, it was maybe just slightly longer than I wanted it to be.
I felt like it was a bit long.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wish you'd played it for an extra at least 15 minutes?
No, I do not.
So, that's the thing, is that I read the rules for both games when we were picking which one to play, because I was like, they're mechanically pretty close. And this one has more going on for not really... I don't think that the depth of gameplay, like, increases just because there's more going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one's strength is that it's so parsed down to you trade. You either offer or request cards, or you put cards out on the table, and then you move on.
Mm-hmm.
This one has more things with the tiles and some special things on cards that I want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that would be the closest thing to a review I could give of that, is that we got it for free and I didn't want to play it. We got both of them for free.
Yeah.
And I read the rules and I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I also don't think that... I know you glanced at the cards. I didn't think that the iconography and presentation of the cards was as clear.
I didn't like the art on the space version as I flipped through it. I mean, there's definitely, like... I'll acknowledge that, like, I'm a historian, so, like, I'm way more interested in Goths and Huns as a gut instinct than moving around Terrans and, like, Auturians and whatever else we flipped through the cards and saw as the races that you're moving. Overall, as I flipped through it, I didn't like the layout of the boards and the little tiles that you're supposed to hook into them. It was kind of interesting looking, but I don't think that it was clear in any way what was happening on anything as I flipped through it.
You do have player aids in this.
But they're double-sided, and they at least appear to be mechanically part of the game, that you're supposed to, like, fit pieces into them, and then I don't know how you'd flip them over to look at the other side of your player aid.
Right, so we're not necessarily qualified to talk about that. But that is kind of a review in itself, that it's like, we had every opportunity to choose to play this for a couple of years, and we're just not interested in it, and are literally just giving it away. Same thing with this, in just like putting it in a box of games that were just getting them out the door. Both of them were free, both of them were added to Kickstarters for unrelated games. Just like, here, you get this now.
Yeah, that 100% seemed like, we just have a lot of these in our warehouse and no one will buy it, so someone please just take these.
This does seem to be the re-implementation that nobody asked for. and I don't know why it exists, because I honestly looked at it. Like, I read the rulebook twice, and I was like, my plan was to play this and then compare the two and ask people's, like, gut reaction of how they felt about it. But then I looked at it, I was like, I'm not going to ask people to play both of these games back to back. Like, if I'm going to make them play anything, I'm going to make them play this one.
The classic.
Because it's not even the classic, because it's got extra things in it. But, like, what's going on here is at least something you can read through and be, like, on top of it and be like, okay, I've got Goths, I've got Lombards or whatever. This one, it just, like, the presentation of it did not impress me in any way. And it's not, like, ugly, but it's also just more convoluted than I think it should be for what is basically just a simple trading card game. So, like, you know, that's the closest thing to review we'll ever give of this. We can't give it a rating because we didn't play it, but like, we
just like very generically sci-fi too, like the art style.
I mean, there's a backstory of what's going on. Like, there's this explorer's guide with, you know, things happening, and they've got, like, you know...
And here's the double-sided play raids that I was talking about where pieces fit in, and I'm not super clear on how that functions.
Yeah, well, there's, like, a planet that you're, like...
building
conquering
around it, you know.
Yeah. So there's tokens and things that I don't think this game needs tokens and things. So I think if you are just a diehard fan of this and you really want just, like, slightly more for some reason, then maybe this is for you. But otherwise, I wouldn't really... Like, we're just not interested in even trying it.
Yeah. So how are you rating Res Publica? The Classico.
Like a 4?
Wow.
I don't know. Like, it's certainly playable, but it's not, like, interesting in a modern context. It mechanically works, but it's kind of tedious. And
yeah, for sure.
Even if you're playing with people who had already played it before, I don't feel like it would really necessarily move extremely faster.
I think it would just move fast because people would just be like, pass, pass, pass. Yeah, sure, I'll give you a Goth for your Hun or whatever.
Right. And then at the end of the day, you're all just drawing cards again.
Yeah.
So that doesn't impress me as a mechanic, so I don't really want to play it, but I would play it if people really wanted to and be like, yep, trading.
I was going to come in like 4.5.
I don't care. You can be 4.5. I'm not going to talk you down.
For the same reasons that you mentioned, that I just think it's kind of boring. And
you're just giving it more points because it has Lombards. And
that's right, and I like those Lombards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we average out 4.25, and that is the excitement of the public things.
Do you have any other historical facts you want to mention to close us out?
Res Publica means things public and refers to the running of the state. I'm not really sure why it's the name of this game. Yeah. I guess that it's because it's set during the rise of the successor kingdoms after the fall of Rome, and people like the Goths and Huns are taking over civilization and establishing their own states. So that's the only thing I can figure they mean by titling this Res Publica, but it seems like a weird name to me, and I can't wrap my head around why they chose to name it in Latin.
Ask Reiner.
Reiner, what's going on? Also, how do you make so many games? I mean...
It's his only job. Display your cards so people know how many cards have been played.
What if I don't want to?
Then you're a cheater.
Oh.
Then you're DQ.
That's fair.
Big DQ.
Big DQ.